After I sort of explained that today had been a really enjoyable day, not least because I hit upon the notion that it's all a bit like, it's not just like a Hollywood B movie, um, with all the other elements to it. A lot of people trying to be noticed, and so on and so forth. But it is like the psychiatric unit I went on in 2000. Uh, like something harking back to the 1950s. You know, people are selling intensely uh, the type of products that owe a lot to the 1950s. You know, it's undoubted. I can spot that a mile off. Just like, for example, I better mention, I can spot the druggings that have tried to be subtly introduced while I've been doing this video, sort of thing. But anyway, after I did the last video, they did something they tried yesterday as well, which is the denouement photo sequence, where they select photos, you know, randomly, you know, casually, you know, looking at the phone, and then all of a sudden it's something that they try to feed off. And then, you know, keep their ball rolling with about. And the thing is, it's like I said yesterday, isn't it? You know, sort of whoever they put. You know, I deleted photos of all manner of people this evening after that. One, it's a sort of worn out method that they've used countless times, that they think they're using, like yesterday and like countless other times, for positive outcomes, sort of thing. But it doesn't work. It's like the relationships with pretty much everyone, where I've been really nagged about those relationships, sort of thing, and you do get bored of that type of stuff. You do sort of realise, like I said in another video, that it's more practical, it's more workable, to just, you know, acknowledge, well, these aren't going anywhere. You know, it's wise to admit to that, this ad campaign, this commercial TV, this commercial radio, and all the rest of it. It's just, uh, you know, it's just bizarre, to say the least. And yeah, it's sort of, you know, like I said, there's quite a few people. If I saw them in town, although this may be premature, me saying this, that I wouldn't mind if they said, "Do you fancy a coffee?" I said, "Yeah, sure, let's go for a coffee." Because if that takes place, and they start, which is highly likely, whoever it is, if they start coming out with ad talk and all that, then I can just say, I can cut the conversation and say, well, it was nice seeing you, and then off. You know, it's clean cut, it's simple, it's practical. Whereas at one stage, I invited all manner of people here, and I did have a lot of people a few people who used to come here, but I wouldn't do that again. I wouldn't dream of doing that again. You know, because I know where they'd go, and I pretty much know, you know, the options of the type of subject position I'd have to adopt, which owes a lot to, which would surely, if things went on the ward, which I sort of predicted, what type of subject positions that are totally unrealistic, that owe more to a Hollywood B movie type mindset and set of circumstances, that you'd expect from the 1950s, than anything else. So yeah, it's just like, and what I did off the back of that, because that is a really old circumstance, atomic habit. Let's put it that way. Of them to over time get people taking photos and so on and so forth, so that at some later date they would appear to have massive significance. Now, initially, I got a bit pissed off about it because, well, it happened yesterday, or it happened today. Well, where's it going? What photo is it going to be tomorrow? Sort of thing, and it is a bit irritating. But again, after that happened, I thought, well, okay, just delete all the photos of that may be used in that way again in the future. That is a practical approach. And actually deleting those photos was a really cathartic experience. I really felt a lot of relief and groundedness of doing that. And like I say, there's plenty of people, even though there's some who I'm really pissed off with. You just like get on with it, don't you? I'm quite happy going about my business. I did want to read tonight, but maybe it's too soon after the attempt at the Easter bank holiday massacre. And it's 2 weeks, and it's only 2 weeks since I was on the ward on a psychiatric ward for 10.5 weeks. But to be in the state I am only 2 weeks, 14 days after I left that ward after 10.5 weeks, considering all the dramas that were concocted there, all the ads and so on and so forth, to consider that even during the attempt at the massacre over the weekend, when I mentioned a sense of homeliness, which obviously was going to be worked around sort of thing, by people who do seem a bit crazy to me, to say the least. You just get on with it, don't you? It's like today. But maybe, just maybe, the stunts they pulled today, the stunts they pulled yesterday, they may be, maybe part of a bigger atomic habit that they've got, sort of thing. To me, it's just like, well, just get on with your day, and enjoy your solitude. Maybe I might go to the coffee shop tomorrow. I don't know. One of their atomic habits is sleep deprivation. And it's just like, well, there you go. But yeah, it's sort of, I can sort of see where they're coming from, but I'd already addressed it yesterday. The situation as it is, it is the case that it is totally practical to acknowledge that the way things are going, I'll go for coffee with anyone, and it's just going to be a whole load of bullshit, which what I see, it seems to me that people are obsessed with the amalgam years, and all that sort of thing, and the way things were tried to be, where there was an attempt to make things so many things such a massive big deal, as is I'm guessing as may be the case at the moment. Might not be, I don't know. I can't unlike some people seem to think, I can't read minds, but anyway, just get on with it, didn't you? And deleting a whole load of photos, not least because that stunt would be more difficult to pull now, but also because it's sort of more realistic. I mean, for the 4 years where the architects were sowing the seeds of their their campaign. And it's safe to call it a campaign, not least in the way they were set on in some Hollywood, again another Hollywood B movie type notion of getting me into psychiatric services, in the way that not least in the way it took place, and it's just like. No, it's just. I mean, in the last video, I don't think did I mention the architects or all that? Or anyway, start to look into the advertising world and stuff like that. Unfortunately, as we know, whatever resources I turn to are under the auspices, ultimately, of the architects. I'd argue. And the total institution, the ad men, the ad women, the 1950s air of the Hollywood B movie and the ad campaign. That's just the way it is. But, it's like when I read books, which is probably the one media that I couldn't do without, I don't think. I do sort of just tolerate that, and you just get what you can out of the books that you read. And it's like, for example, the biography of Marshall McLuhan that I read when I was on the psychiatric ward. It's obviously edited to shit, but it wasn't a bad read in total sort of thing. And I really enjoyed it. Got a book today that I wanted to read. I did want to meditate today, but the days just seem to disappear. The days are going increasingly fast, I think. But yeah. Another thing. Managed some exercise today. I did have the motivation. I was allowed to have the motivation to exercise. But I look at the Easter holiday attempt at the massacre, as I've called it, and what's happened since the stunts that have been pulled since, and the attempts to and I'm just not interested anyway in any way, in any of the amalgam type shit, or any of the architect type shit, even though I do go over the architect stuff now and again, when it is helpful for me to get, like I've said before, get perspective, get a grip on things, and so on and so forth. Not least when I'm put through a lot of covert drug-ins. Well, are they covert drug-ins? Everyone knows I'm getting drug-ins. I know I'm getting drug-ins. So it's not necessarily so covert after all. So maybe the drug-ins, the unofficial drug-ins, but they are official. So anyway, you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to get at. Anyway, right. So deleting those photos. So in a way, like the guy who was going crazy outside the coffee shop, shaking his head off to try and be noticed, which was sort of a vibe I picked up today, of people who really wanted to be noticed. Trees and all sorts. And, I really am interested. But like with the guy outside the coffee shop, there is that thing where people seem to be going off on one so much that they're pretty insistent, and yet so many of the attempts at subject positions that I see in places, that I've seen in places, I'm just not buying it. It's like I said in the last video, and you wait to see what will happen with Amazon, I'm sure, but with my shopping on Amazon. But anyway, I'll deal with it if it happens. But yeah, I mean, So actually, what I'm doing is, I suppose, falling into the trap of responding to the shenanigans that were put into place today. But the reality for me is, despite all that going on, not a lot's happened really. I mean, attempts at food fights, like I said before, par for the course. Commercial TV and radio is sort of possibly a lifelong thing, which owes a lot to the 1950s. And the Middle Ages and stuff like that. All the elements, all the lists and so on and so forth. People trying to be noticed, and so on and so forth, and all the rest of it. And yeah, enjoyable day. If people are going to flog stuff, they're going to flog stuff. If that happens around me, that happens around me. With deleting the photos on my devices, I found it a really cathartic experience. That's it. It was just a really practical and cathartic experience. Now I can look at my photo album. In most instances, it's sort of how things have been. With essentially since the architects first started kicking off, it's essentially been me and my mum. When she, like I said yesterday, when she died in April last year, that was pretty much it. Despite the fact that there's certain people that I don't mind seeing, but like I said, I'd rather not have anyone come to the flat, because if I'm in a coffee shop with anyone, if I ever go with anyone to a coffee shop again, it'll be the case that if they do start coming out with 1950s style advertising stuff, the type of stuff I've talked about over time, then I could just say, "Nice seeing you," and you can just break off the encounter and just go back to your pad. After doing a fair bit of cleaning today, I might do some hoovering. Probably next week. It is like I said before. I think it does makes you a bit house proud, and I've not really done that before. I don't think. I've done this stuff myself. Can't stand dusting, but I'm gonna have to do it eventually. Yeah, chilled out day. Enjoyed my solitude for the most part. One or two irritating things, but overall nothing major, nothing I ain't seen before, nothing I won't see again probably, and like I said, considering it's 14 days since I came out of off the psychiatric unit, off the psychiatric ward. And to be in the state I'm in, not least after all the shenanigans and all the rest of it that had taken place, and attempts at denouements, rerun fever, and so on and so forth. To be in the condition I'm in, it's quite something. It really is quite something. It's something to try and build on, despite what can go on at times.